LoreWarrior Online DVS-2 Devastator. Overview. Designed by General Kerensky himself right before the start of the Amaris Civil War, development of the Devastator ended abruptly when Stefan the Usurper took control of Terra. Resources were redirected to the war effort, but the design team was so dedicated to the design that when General Kerensky was about to begin the invasion of Earth, they delivered 6 prototypes for evaluation, expenses paid out of pocket by the team. None of the Devastator's combat records have ever been found, leaving historians unable to evaluate how one of the last original Star League Defense Force designs performed, or if any of the prototypes even survived. The plans were rediscovered in 3023 on Hoth by a unit exploring a recently uncovered Star League base, but the first engineers to examine the plans could not reproduce any of the new technology that went into the original. It wasn't until 3033 that the NAIS were able to construct a Devastator prototype, using available technologies of the time. Moderate production began a few years later, and the low-tech DVS-1D was distributed to elite units until early 3048, when the Federated Commonwealth was able to begin full production of an outfitted new-tech version. Capabilities. Designed for long-range power to overcome its slow speed, 2 Poland main Model A Gauss rifles were mounted, with a secondary pair of particle projector cannons placed in the torso. While conventional wisdom would switch the locations to make the main guns better protected, Norse wanted the Devastator's most powerful guns to be able to attack a flanking enemy. In addition, this also meant that should the Gauss rifles explode during combat through a lucky hit, the mech's vulnerable extra-light engine would not be damaged in possible chain reactions, extending the Devastator's life expectancy in a high combat scenario. With a battery of medium lasers, the Devastator can hold its own in close combat, but its most impressive feature is its heat management capabilities. 14 double heat sinks allow pilots to move at maximum speed and fire all of its heavy weaponry without concern. Even while doused in Inferno Gel, or with multiple engine hits, a Devastator pilot only has to marginally cut back on his actions to keep the design from overheating. Deployment. The Devastator has been in service with the Federated Commonwealth, now Federated Sons and Lyran Alliance militaries for about 20 years, and has been ingrained quite deeply. When the Lyran Alliance seceded in 3057, Archon Catherine stopped all shipments of the Devastator to the Federated Sons until 3061, when she took power in her brother's realm. Shipments went to Loyalist units, and the design saw extensive use during all the heavy combat operations from the clan invasion to the even more devastating Civil War. In addition to being a long-range weapons platform, many commanders assigned the unit to be their own personal bodyguard mech, using batteries of PPC and Gauss rifles to deter any would-be headhunting teams. In the immediate aftermath of the Civil War, Archon Peter Steiner Davian placed a massive order for Battletechs from North Storm. Not touched during the conflict, North Storm were able to keep production at maximum output to beat the Archon's orders. However, unlike its sister design, the Thunderhawk, the Devastator is available for export, and the AFFS has been purchasing it to replace many of its lost assault units. Variants. Worried about the Devastator's staying power in a protracted battle, North Storm developed and released the DVS-3. Dropping the 3 front-firing medium lasers, the variant adds an additional half-ton of armor, a rear-firing small laser, and 2 tons of Gauss ammo. Only a few have ever been sold, as many units feel that 4 ton of Gauss ammunition is more than enough for most battles, and they would rather have the extra medium lasers instead of the extra ammunition. Not in production anymore, the low-tech DVS-1D Devastator is still seeing service with some militia units. Lacking such advanced features as double heatsinks and Gauss rifles, much of the weaponry was downgraded to make do with what the Federated Commonwealth had at the time. AC-10s in the arms replaced the Gauss rifles, and instead of PPCs, a large laser in each torso make up for the weight gain resulting from the employment of a standard fusion engine. Sacrificing a half-ton of armor, an extra heatsink in the CT was also added. It is estimated that only several dozen or so of this version still exist, as there was a recall to upgrade existing Devastators to the better technology versions now, and most of those machines are currently found in the possession of the Turian Concordat.